Hi everyone, let's go ahead and get started with the Streamlit. In today's video, I'll be also reviewing a book, Web App Development Made Simple with the Streamlit. The link of this book is given in my video description. I have gone through with this book. I really found that this book is really very useful. If you want to build any data science application, then you can follow that book. So in today's video, we will be going through the basics of the Streamlit. We will be seeing that how you can install the Streamlit and then how you can build some, the basic, I mean to say that how you can use some of the basics component of the Streamlit. And repository for this particular lesson you can find out on my GitHub repo. The link of this GitHub repo is also given in the video description. You can come here at Streamlit tutorial. So basically it's github.com/Lakshmi and Streamlit tutorials. So here you will be finding there all the code. So this is first lecture. That is why you are seeing here just one folder. But in coming days, you will be seeing here so many folders for the Streamlit. So we will be building particularly this example where you will be seeing that how we can use all these basic component of the Streamlit. As you see that this is the title of the Streamlit, then there is the header, subheader, and some other text component we will be seeing how you can use. Thereafter, I'll be showing you how you can use the Markdown and HTML codes in the Streamlit. Thereafter, I'll be showing you how you can use the buttons here for the success, information, warning, etc. Thereafter, I'll be also showing you how you can use the image, video, and audio. These video you can use from the local folder as well as from the online video link as well. So this particular video is used from the local folder, but this video is used from the online link. If you are building any application which needs these video, audio, all these integration, you can really build that application using a Streamlit. We will be also going through some of the widgets at the Streamlit, like button you have checkboxes, you have here selection buttons. So these are also known as radio buttons. Thereafter, you have here a kind of labels. Earlier we had seen the text presentation. Here we saw that text, but at this place you are seeing here a label. So the label is something like that where you will be having a different background along with the text as well. Thereafter, these labels are presented after the selection of this, like you select A, you select B, these will get changed based on this. Thereafter, you have here the drop down list. You can also see that how we can use the drop down list. Thereafter, we can also choose any of these drop down list, etc. We can see that how we can write these the text data inside the text box. And thereafter, we will be seeing that how you can select here, how you can use the slider to select some particular value. You can give the range here to select these sliders. Thereafter, we will be also seeing here some decoration. You click on these balloons, then you will be seeing that there are so many balloons are flying out from the bottom to the top. Then we will be also seeing that how you can use the data frame and the tables in a Streamlit application. So here you see that pandas data frame is used to show these. Suppose that you are building an application and that application needs to show some data, then you can use this to represent your data. This is not just tabular data, but in fact you can use these data as well. I mean to say that you can use these plots as well. You can use a seaborn plot, you can use matplotlib. So all these plots you can also use in your Streamlit applications. If you are building application which is machine learning application and that needs evaluation matrices as well, then you can also represent these confusion matrix as well. You can also use date and times. There are so many things which you can use. So there are so much to learn in this lesson. So this will be a little bit longer video, but you are going to learn almost everything about the Streamlit in this video. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first of all, we are going to open here our notebook. So I have created here a Python file app.py. The reference book link is given here and the code repository link is given here. So the first task is to install the Streamlit. So you need to open your terminal. I'm just gonna open my terminal here in VS Code Studio itself, and I have selected here a base environment in Conda. So you need to install Anaconda. Otherwise, if you have native Python, then that is also fine. Thereafter, you need to write here pip install Streamlit. So this is going to install the Streamlit. A latest version of the Streamlit will get installed here. So that's all you need to do here. Once Streamlit installed, then you need to come here in app.py, you right click here and then open in integrated terminal. Otherwise, what you can do, you can run this file by navigating to the path where this file is placed, and at that place you need to run here Streamlit run and then file name. So I'm just going to use here Streamlit run app.py. So this thing I'm just going to copy and paste it here just for the reference, so that in future if you need this, you can run this. Alright, let's go ahead and just run this. Okay, so it has successfully ran here. It says that we need to upgrade our Streamlit. So I'm just gonna copy it again and then I'm just gonna upgrade my Streamlit. So Control and C you can press to terminate your program. Then I'm just gonna upgrade my Streamlit once again. Once Streamlit is upgraded, thereafter I'm just gonna again run that. Okay, so the first time it says that it could not install, the second time it should be able to install it. So sometimes if you are already running the Streamlit, it may not be able to run it anyway. So this upgrade is not as that important. So once this has started, then I'm just gonna copy this link. Generally it should open this link in a browser. If it has not opened, then you just copy that link and paste it in your browser. Then it is going to open your Streamlit application. So here you see that this Streamlit application is open, but nothing is printed here. But if you compare with this, with the previous application, so I'm just going to put that here. So the application which we are going to use as a reference application, so it has printed here title and thereafter some headers, etc. But in our current application, that is not printed. So for that, we are going to write the code. So first of all, if Streamlit is installed, then you need to import Streamlit. So for that I write here import Streamlit as st. So this is a standard procedure to import Streamlit. So import Streamlit as st. Thereafter to print the title, I write here st.title. Okay, perfect. So I write here st.title, and then you would be able to see that this is title. I say that this is title and just save this. So once you save this file, thereafter you would be automatically able to see that here. It will ask you whether you want to reload this application or not. So I want to reload. So I click on always rerun. So it has successfully ran this. So there it has Streamlit basic. But I say that this is title. So let's go ahead and come back here. So here I say that this is basic and I say that this is title. And then you just come back here. Then you see that Streamlit basics and this is title. Perfect. So now I'm going to put these side by side so that we can understand that how this is working in real time. So I put it here in the first half, and in the second half I put my application. And then I'm just going to close this. So if you close it from here, it is just going to hide the panel and nothing more than that. All right, so I'm just going to zoom out this one a little bit so that we can get a little bit more space to just see that. And then I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to do this, and this one I'm just going to do it here. Okay, perfect. So as now we will be making changes here, and those changes will be reflecting in real time at your another screen. So we have seen here how to show the title. Let's say if you want to show the header, so header font size will be a little smaller than the title. So you can write that st.header and then you write that this is header. So as soon as you stop the typing, you will be able to see that this is header. Let's say you want to show here the subheader. So for that purpose, you need to write here st.subheader and then you write that this is subheader. All right, as soon as you stop the typing, you would be able to see that this is header, this is subheader. Now you see the difference here. In this title, the word or font size, you can say that it is a lot larger than the header, and then header font size is larger than this subheader. Thereafter, we also have a natural text representation as well, so that you can show it here. So for that, you can say that like st dot text, and then you can say that this is a simple text, and then you will see that this is a simple text. Now you see that this is uni space there, so uniform spacing is here, and you can also represent this text using st.write as well. So you can say that st.write, then you say that this is a write method. Then you will be able to see that this is shown here as you can say that like Calibri and Arial, the font, right? So this is a natural font of your browser, but here this font is a little bit different. So if you want to emphasize some text data in your application, then you can use this st.text. Otherwise, you can use their st.write. All right. So these are some of the basic component which you can use in Streamlit. Let's go ahead and see how you can use Markdown component. So as I told you that if you want to emphasize something, so you can use st.text. But let's say if you want to emphasize something a little bit more and in more decorative way, then how would you do that? Then you can use Markdown and HTML codes to emphasize that in a little bit more way. So I'm gonna just write here I'm just gonna write here st dot header, and then I say that here Markdown and HTML, so that it should be able it should be clear to us that now we are going to work on Markdown and HTML language. So Markdown language is like if you have written any GitHub README file, then you know that README file is written into Markdown language. So this is very plain formatted and very easy language. So it's kind of markup language which is used to decorate your document. So st.header, Markdown and HTML. Then you can simply use here st.markdown, and inside that whatever you write, you will be seeing that this will be having some emphasis there. So this is Markdown. All right. So now you see this emphasis is not clear as of now, but as soon as you put here to tilde here, so you see there, so this tilde, you can see that this is just above your tab key. All right. So this special character is above your tab keyboard. You just press that one, then you will be seeing that this is Markdown. Now this has been emphasized here. Let's say you want to write some code, then you can also write here some code as well. All right, so you can use this tilde there 3 times, and then here, then it becomes a code block. Thereafter you write here like import Streamlit as st. It's something like that. Now you can see that this application, this one is showing as a code block here. All right. So that's how you can use this Markdown. Other than this, you can also use this Markdown to put some link as well. Like let's say you put here st.markdown, and then you put here, let's say KGP Talkie. So whatever you put in this bracket, that becomes here a link. I mean, that becomes a text data, and thereafter you need to put here link in this, is a round bracket. So this is a round bracket actually. So you can write here youtube.com and /KGP Talkie. Now you would be able to see that this is working as a link. Now if you click on this, it will open our link. Oh, seems like it has not opened that link. So for that, maybe I need to write here http://https:// and thereafter I write here, then it becomes a proper link. Alright, now if I click it here, then it will be redirected here. So
Hi
it
everyone.
open my
Welcome to
KGP
Spam
Talkie
Text
channel.
Classification. We will
Alright, so by default actually at KGP Talkie that video starts running. So that's why you saw that a different voice there. In fact, double voice. Okay. So that's how you can use the Markdown. So this is not just limited to these formats. You can use any kind of Markdown, commands here that will work here. For example, let's say if you want to use here headings, subheadings, and multiple kind of headings, those you can also use here. Like this is heading. I say that this is heading. Okay. And if you put here double hash, then this becomes subheading. You can put here triple hash, then this becomes here a 3 level of heading. Alright, then this becomes even smaller. So this Markdown provides you that ability to control these subheadings in more better way what you get as a standard header and subheader. Let's go ahead and see how you can use for HTML. So for HTML, it's pretty much simple. You first of all write your HTML page, the page which I'm going to, use for my markup. So I write here HTML page is equal to a 3, okay, so a 3 quote there. So double quote it is actually. So 3 times double quote will make sure that if you, this is kind of the multi-line string. So you can hit the enter here and this whole thing will be used as a multi-line string. Okay, so I use here a 3 double quote. Thereafter I use here some, the HTML markup language. So for that, I'm just gonna use some HTML, simple code. I'm just gonna search it here and then I'm just gonna search it from the W3 schools and then I'm just gonna get it from here. So I just copy this whole thing from here and then I'm just gonna paste it here. Unnecessarily I'm not going to write, to say that I'm not going to write this whole thing just to waste the time. Okay, so HTML code we have got here. So I have put that HTML code here. Now I'm just going to use here st.markdown and in that I use this HTML page. So as soon as I put it here, you will be able to see that this code actually got printed. Rendering has not happened. Just to allow this rendering, you need to put here unsafe allow HTML is equal to true. So it's going to now allow this HTML here. But as you see that we are not able to see anything here. But what we are seeing here that this is HTML, the first heading. But this thing is not different what we have seen here. Just to introduce something extra here, what we are going to use now, I'm going to use some, the CSS, inline CSS and something like that. So I just click on here a CSS and then let me just see that if I can. Okay. So I search here inline CSS and HTML. So it's like that. If I search that, I should be able to get that probably. Yeah. So let's say this one. So I just copy that whole thing from here and then I put that here And then if I check it here, now I'm able to see that this becomes here a blue color and then it becomes here red. So this blue looks a little bit, weird. So I'm just gonna use here orange color. Okay, so now you see there is the orange, and for this one, which color I should use here? So I'm just gonna use here aqua color. So now you would be able to see that this color got aqua color here. Okay, so that's how you can use this Streamlit for your HTML pages as well. But you have to make sure that you allow this unsafe allow HTML. Otherwise, it will not work. There are so many things you can use. Like in HTML, you also, use their some standard buttons there. So something like that you can also use here. So I'm just gonna use here header, and then I say that buttons. Okay, so for the button I write here st.button, and then you can just say that submit. So this becomes here like a submit button, right? A standard submit button here. Whenever you click on this button, it returns here, right? So you can check that if it is clicked, right? So like, let's say you can say that something like that button is equal to this, and if button, then you can say that here again st.success, right? So st.success is going to print that success button, right? So like that you can say that button is clicked. It's like that you can use, right? Something like that. So you see here, I just click on the submit, and then you see that button is clicked here. All right, it's so simple. All right, it's so simple. Okay, so you can also use warning or info as well if you want to show some other information as well. So like you can say that info, you can say that this is general info. Otherwise, you can also say that st dot warning. This is warning. So it's so much simple, right? So you see there, these background is getting changed here, right? If you click on this submit, you see there a submit button or success button have this green color. A general information has some kind of blue color, a faded blue color, and this color I don't recognize what color this is, but yeah, this whatever color it is, right? So yeah, this is a different color. You can also use their st.error as well, just to show any error in different format. Not a format, but in different color actually. So you can say that this is an error. So this is going to work something like that. You see there, this is an error. So this is a little bit reddish color here. Okay, so that's how you see there these button works. Now let's go ahead and see how you can use the videos and audios. And for that, I'm just going to show you here a reference. So we have covered all these things. Now I'm going to show you how you can attach these images and these videos. So this image got attached from the local link, but you can use also online link or any link. And this part is used from the local video, and this one is used for online video. Here I have used YouTube video, but you can use any kind of video. And here is audio. So you can link your audio, video, or anything like that here. Okay. So to get started with this, I write here st.header, and then I write here audio, video, and image. Now you can see that here audio, video, and image. All right. Even you can also utilize your markup here. So st dot markdown, actually you can use these 3 dots if you want to put here a divider as well. This divider I really liked so much. Okay, so I'm just going to divide these separately. So here you have audio, video. Okay, so you have st.header, audio, video, and images. We are going to start with the simple image. So to show the image, we have to make sure that you have a pillow library installed. Generally, pillow library comes as pre-installed. Otherwise, you have to install that pillow library. So basically, I import here from pil import image. All right. So once you have imported from pil this image, then I write here img is equal to image dot open, and thereafter you need to provide here link which image you want to show here. Now you see there is error because there is no error. So I have image in my current repository, that's the kgp talkie.png. So that part I'm going to provide here, kgp talkie.png. Now you should be able to see that it says that, oh, no such file is found. So seems like that part is missing. Let me just see that how it is there. So yeah, it's there, kgp talkie, yeah, talkie, talkie, kgp talkie.png. Oh, how is this? Oh yeah, so the problem is actually this kgp talkie.png is outside of this basic. That's the problem, no? Yeah, so you need to put it here. Okay, now you see there, so it's here, I mean in same repository. Now you should be able to see that how it's not coming. Let me just modify here something. Okay, I write here kgp talkie.png. So this has successfully, this is now able to read this. Once image is loaded in img variable, then you write here st.image, and then you just simply provide your image there. Sorry, yep, image is equal to img. Now you should be able to see that this kgp talkie is printed. Now if you want to control the height and width of your image, that part also you can do. So that part I'm going to do with the width is equal to 100 pixels. So now you see there, this has now, this now have a smaller size. Even you can put 50, now it becomes even more smaller. You can put here a 500. Now you will be seeing here that this has become a 500 pixels, but this image is getting broken. So pixels are not clear. So what happens here? So if you put these image and these width are more than actual images, then these image will be scaled up there. So scaling happen. So once scaling happens, that means image will get pixelated there. So I'm just gonna use here 100 pixels as a default pixels to load my logo. So I use here width 100. Thereafter you can also put the captions in your image as well. So I write here kgp talkie logo. That's how I write here. So you able to see that the caption of this image as kgp talkie logo. Alright, so that's how you can use this image. For here you can also provide some other link to load this image. It will simply just load that image. Let's go ahead and see how you can use for video. So I write here image. Thereafter I'm just gonna write it for the video. So for video, I'm just gonna get first video file. So I write here video file is equal to, I'm just gonna use here a default open function from the Python. So I use here video file is equal to open, and then I'm just going to use the video which I'm going to open. So that video is here sample video.mp4. So I write here sample video.mp4. Alright, and this mp4 I'm going to load it into read binary mode. Once you do that, this video is loaded in your file here. So you need to scroll it down a little bit every time actually. So you see that. For that purpose, what I'm going to do, anything above this audio video, no, I'm just going to comment those so that, yeah. so that we should be able to see it on the top. Otherwise this is creating a problem. Every time I need to scroll it down just to show you that. Okay, so here we have this. Okay, so audio, video, thereafter we are going to show this. We are just going to read first of all this video. So I write here video bytes. So like we used here, read this image into a byte format. So same way we have to do for video, but it is a little bit one more extra step actually. So I write here this video file dot read. Okay, so it has opened this video as a byte file here. All the reading has happened in this video bytes, and thereafter I use here st.video to show my video. So I write here video bytes actually. Okay, so now you see there this video is loaded. You can simply click on play button. You would be able to see that this will play. You can put it into a full screen, or you can just put it into a smaller screen. You can also download, you can control the playback speed, etc, etc. There are so many things you can control here. All right, perfect. You can also provide the subtitles and other things. You can see all the details here. All right, perfect. So that's how you can load the video from the local file. Let's go ahead and see how you can load the video from the online repository. So for that you can do st.video. Then you can provide the link from where you want to load the video. I want to load the video from my channel KGP Talkie. So I just open this video, and then
Welcome to spam text classification.
I'm just going to get the link of this video from here, and then I just copy it from there and paste it here. Thereafter I come here, and then you should be able to see that this video is shown here. Alright, congratulations. Now you know that how you can load the video, how you can load the video from the local file and from online file, and also how you can load the images as well. Let's go ahead and see how you can load the audio. So to load the audio, we have to do the same process from the local audio if you want to use. So for that I write here audio file variable name, and then I open my audio file. So that audio file is written here sample.mp3, and that sample.mp3 I'm going to load here. So I write here sample.mp3, and then this one I'm going to use into a read binary mode actually, and thereafter I'm going to read this audio file as byte file. Thereafter I write here audio file dot read. So once it is loaded into audio byte, then simply like we did for video file, you can use here audio st.audio, and then you can provide this audio byte there. It's a pretty much simple, and you should be able to see that. And if you play it here, so I just played that there, and then you can stop it. You can also download this. You can control the playback speed, etc. All these things you can do. So now you know that how you can do image loading, video loading, and audio loading. And if you want to load it from some link, you can use the simple concept to load any audio from the link as well. Let's go ahead and see how you can use the widgets now. Like in our sample file, we are going to see that how you can use all these widgets here. Okay, so for that I'm just going to write again here st.header, and in that I write here widgets, but before that I write here st.markdown, and in that I use here 3 hyphen, and in our current file you will be seeing that this is now separated. Since every time we have to scroll it down, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to comment here from here to here. all right, so that I can see that from the top there. Okay, so now I'm going to see that these widgets here. So there are so many widgets. We have seen that how we can use the buttons. We have also seen that if you click a button, then how you can control that just to run any code after clicking the button. So that part I'm just going to repeat here once again, just for a continuity. So a button widget works like this. Let's say you have here submit, something like that, st dot button, and then you write there submit, and then you check that if submit, then you write there st dot, let's say I'm going to use here text button is clicked here. Okay, if I run it here, then it says that button is clicked. So that's how you can use the button. That's the one widget in your Streamlit application. You can also use the checkboxes. So if you have filled any form online recently, you might remember that there are many forms where you need to select multiple options, so that you can use that you can build using these checkboxes. So you can say that st dot checkbox, and then you can provide the label for this. So I write here st dot checkbox, it is a checkbox here, so there this checkbox is clicked here. All right, and if you want to know that if checkbox is selected, then a similar condition you can use like the button. Just to make it a little bit more compact, you can just use that if st dot checkbox, then you can use that st dot st dot write that checkbox is selected. So I have used here the two different things. For this I used st.write, for this I used here st.text. It's up to you whatever widget you use to show your text data. If checkbox is unselected, then you will see that that is gone there. And if you click on submit button and checkbox is not selected, then you will not see anything there. If this is selected and you click this submit button, since checkbox is already selected, then you will be having that checkbox is selected. That's how you can use this checkbox. Let's go ahead and see how you can use the radio button. Let's say if you are given a multiple options, all right, and you need to just select only one option, and for that you can use the radio button. So you use here radio button. So you write there radio button is equal to st dot radio. You provide here label like your selection. So let's say if I want you that which topic you want to see. Let's say I'm making a YouTube video and I ask you that in which topic you want to, in which topic you have interest. So you can say that like you have interest in deep learning, you have interest in NLP, you have interest in, let's say, graph videos, you have interest in the classical ML, something like that. And so now you can see that the checkboxes are shown here. So whatever checkbox you select here, that checkbox value is returned in this radio button. So you can simply you can simply print actually st dot you can use the st dot write here radio button there, something like that. So whatever the selection you select, that you will be able to see that that particular selection is printed here. You can also combine here multiple data, multiple strings as well. So you can write that you have selected, something like that. You can say that So you have selected here DL, you have selected NLP, you have selected ML, you have selected, you have selected graph, you have selected ML. So it works like that. So that's how you can select these, that's how you can use these radio buttons. Let's go ahead. If you want to use multiple select boxes, then how would you do that? For that, you can use their multiple select boxes together. So for that, I write here select box, then I write here, let's say, if you are interested in multiple topics, then I write here the topics is equal to st dot select box, and then your interest, then I write here your interest. Thereafter you can provide the list where the list in which you are interested. Alright, so with this radio button you had only one option to select, but with this select box you again have only one option to select, but this is a different way. This is going to save some space here. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and see how you can use your the multi-selection. So I write here multi-select. So for that you can simply write there st dot multi-select, and then you say that your interest, you say that here DL, NLP, graph and ML. So you just scroll down here, then in this option you have ML. You can also select NLP, ML, all these things in one go you can select there. You can scroll it again. Now whatever is left there, those will be printed here. You can also cut these if you are not interested in these. So that's how you can use these multi-select. Again, whatever you select, that those will be returned here. Alright, so let's say I say here the topics is equal to like this, and then I just print those topics here. So I write here print, oh sorry, not the print, actually st dot write, and then these topics. Okay, so currently there is no topic, but as soon as I select topic, you should be able to see that that topic is selected. I select here another topic. Now you should be able to see that as a list that the two topic I have selected, DL and graph. So that's how this multi-select work here. All right. So let's go ahead and see how you can use the text input. So this is something where pre-written is given to you. You can select, but let's say, as a customer or as a user, you can select anything. Let's say from the customer, you want some feedback, a written feedback, where the customer have to write something. So the customer need to write there something. For that purpose, you can use the text input. Okay. So for the text input, I'm just gonna use here the text input part. So for the text input part, I write here first of all, let's say you are asking name from someone, so I write here name st dot text input. Now you see there this text was used to give the output, just to show the level, but this text area and input, there are two things here. We will be going through each of these one by one. Let's go ahead with text input first. So with this text input, what you do there, you write there label of your text input. Let's say you ask about name, so you write there your name, and then you will be able to write here name. So I write my name is Lakshmikant. I hit the enter, nothing happens because we have not printed this name, but this thing is returned here. All right. This thing is returned in this name variable. You can use that st dot write, and then you can say that your name is name. All right. So you see there, I written here Lakshmikant. I write here other. So like that, Lakshmikant Tiwari. So that thing is returned here. So let's say you want to put here some pre-filled value. Then how would you do that? So you can put here pre-filled values as well. So like let's say you can put there a comma and then say that write something. Okay, so you will be able to see that here is a default value which is pre-filled value. You have to delete that, and thereafter you have to put the name there. Alright, so it becomes your name is Lakshmikant Tiwari. So that's how this text input works there. But let me show you how the text area works there. So the same thing I'm going to use here. Name is equal to st dot, not the name actually, since names are very small things. Okay, names are very small. Let's say you want name, email, and thereafter so many other things. So how would you do that? Let me just show you here something, a good thing here. I write here your email. Let's say you write there text input, and then you write here your mobile. So these are the two things, but here mobile is a text data. Later you can, I'll be showing you how you can use numbers as the number. So if I write here something like that, it will be able to select it. But let's say if you want to make sure that you just select here numbers. So for that you can say that st dot number input. All right. So then you use here something like that. Okay, so for this actually, so this number is not going to take, in fact this is going to make it float, so this is not correct way to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and write this like this. So you have your email, you have your mobile, and thereafter let's say you also want to see that you want to ask customer that what's the price. Let's say some item you have sold and you want to ask that what is item price, something like that. You ask from the customer that what is item price. So the customer writes something here, item price, and now you want the feedback from the customer. So to get the feedback, you can write there text input, write your feedback. But problem with this is that this feedback is just can be written here in a single line. If you write something here, you are seeing there, so this is just a single line. You cannot split it into multiple lines. So that's the problem here. Just to address that problem, you can use the text area. So the text area becomes something like that, where you can give a multi-line input. You can control its height and width as well. So it's like that, you can control it. So that is why you use this text area. All right, now this difference should be clear to you, and then this input number you can use to put some numerical value like age, weight, and price, and so many other things. Let's say you want to ask from your customer value in some slider way. Let's say you have given a predefined predefined range from where you want the feedback. All right, so how would you do that? So I'm just going to show that how you can do from the slider. So you can write that st dot slider. Okay, your happiness score. I say that your happiness score, how much your happiness score is there. So you can control that from here to there, 0 to 100. All right, so default step size is 1 here, but that default step size you can also control. So a default step size you can control here. You can write there a step. I write here 10. So a default step size becomes here 10. I can select here 0 and then some 10 value, but in between value I can't put here. All right, so by default it is going just 10, 20 and each. I can select this value to 50 as well. So this will be either 0 and then 50 and then 100. That's all. All right, so let's say you select here step size 10, and then you can control it like this only. If you want to increase this range, that range you can also increase. That range you can put here. Let's say you want to ask customer from 10 to 100, something like that. So that's the starting and end value. So now you see there it becomes here 10 to 100, and then the slider value is again sliding in the step of 10. So that's how you can ask that. I ask that in the form of slider from your customer actually. Let's say you want to put some decoration, so that decoration is also available, and this decoration I really liked a lot. So if st dot button is clicked here, let's say you have these balloons. I think spelling is wrong. This balloon spelling is wrong. Let me just see the correct spelling. Oh, it's correct. Oh my god, I didn't believe myself. Okay, so this balloon spelling is correct. Then I write here st dot balloons. So this is kind of the decoration. I just click on this. I see so many balloons are flying up from bottom to top. That's how you can do the decoration. I really like this decoration. Okay, so that's all in this widget section. There are so many other things which is given by the Streamlit, but currently we are not going to see those because those are quite advanced things. We are just going through basics of the Streamlit, and it has been almost an hour since we had started this video, and we have reached only half of our lecture series till now. Okay, let's go ahead and see how we can start, how we can read the data frame. All right, so that part I had shown you in sample Streamlit application. So you can also read your file, and then you can show those file in the form of tables, in the form of the data frame to the customers. So I write here st.markdown, and then I'm just going to put here a 3 hyphen just to place a divider here. Thereafter I write here st.header, and thereafter I write here data frames and tables. So I'm going to use here the pandas data frame. So since these things are going to create a problem every time it scrolls up, and then we have to come down, so I'm just going to comment here these things from there to here. Alright, now we have here data frames and tables. So let's import pandas here first of all. So I write here import pandas as PD. Thereafter I read my CSV file. So that CSV file is already here. You can read any CSV file, not just this one, since it is going to be a little bit simple. So I put it here, and for that you need to write here pd.read_CSV, and then I write here auto.csv. So that's how I read these data frame. Thereafter I write here st.dataframe, and then you can simply put here dataframe.head. So this st.dataframe is going to display your data frame here. If your data frame is quite wide, then you will be getting here a slider at the bottom. You can slide these sliders just to see all these columns in one go. Whatever is displayed here, those you can download. Otherwise you can also search if you want to search in particular column. Alright, so that's how you can use this data frame. And the same thing if you want to display as the table, that part you can also use to display as the table. For that you can simply use st.table and then df.head, then it is going to used here as the table. There is not much difference between this and this, but this one visually seems a little bit more appealing than what we see as the data, what we see as the table. So here is the table. One default the property of this table that it automatically here wrap up this content which was in this column. And other than that, you will be also seeing that these values, what we see here, these are represented as numerical value, whereas here these values were presented in a little bit more formatted way. Other than that, you also see that these are represented as the float value. So personally, I feel that st.DataFrame seems like more appealing than this st.table. Okay, other than this, let's go ahead and see how we can plot these. For time being, I'm just going to comment this table. I don't really like this table, so I'm just gonna keep this data frame. Let's go ahead and see how we can do the plotting. So what are these plotting? These plotting, you see, these type of plot we can do in a Streamlit. So the first of all, I'm going to use here Seaborn for plotting. There are other, inbuilt plot which is available in Streamlit. For example, area chart, bar chart, and line chart. But those plot does not give you that control which you get from the Seaborn and Matplotlib. Let's go ahead and compare these, then you will understand that. So I write here st.area chart, and in that I plot here this data frame. In that I plot here MPG. That's the MPG column here in this data frame we had here. So there we have MPG, and then I also plot in this area chart another column. So whatever the column you want to plot, those columns you can define here. So I'm just gonna copy these cylinders there. So I put here cylinders. So the MPG and cylinder column I plot here as the chart plot. You can zoom it and zoom out. So that's the additional property here which you get in Streamlit. In Seaborn and Matplotlib plots, you generally don't get these properties like zoom in and zoom out. You can click on here if you want to download this as PNG or SVG. You can do those things as well. So this shows property something like a plotly. So that's the benefit of using Streamlit area chart. You can also use here the bar chart as well. So I can write st.bar chart, then again that same data frame df. I'm gonna use MPG, and then I'm also gonna use cylinders here. That's the same variable, that's the cylinders. So in this seems like this cylinder is wrong actually. Okay, it is here. Yeah, so there cylinders, this is the bar chart. So this is very dense bar chart, and this thing is not clear to us. For that we can use some top 20 rows only just to plot those. Now I'm able to see those top 20 rows only as the bar chart. You can similarly also plot here the line chart. So I'm just gonna use the same thing to plot as the line chart, and this head part I'm just going to remove, because line chart anyway we can plot all these informations. But again, this doesn't seems good again, right? So I'm just gonna put these head. So top 20. Top 20 is not correct. Maybe top 100 will be a little bit more appealing. Yeah, so the top 100 seems like a bit more appealing than what we had. You can again zoom in and zoom out in this plot as well. So this is a default plot from the Streamlit, but you can also use Seaborn and Matplotlib. So I'm just gonna write those, Seaborn and Matplotlib. For that, I write here import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and then I also import Seaborn as SNS. Okay, so I have imported here matplotlib and Seaborn. Let's go ahead and use these as the default figure in your Streamlit. So for any figure, you have to first create here a subplot just to plot that. So what is subplot? Subplot is going to give you these axis and overall figure canvas. So that part I'm going to get here. So I get figure and AX. So this figure is overall canvas, and this axis says that how many subplots are there. Currently it's plt.subplots. That means there is only one subplot. Thereafter, I'm going to plot here a heat map. So heat map, something like that, is not available with the Streamlit. So heat map is something where you have, like, you know, the correlation matrices kind of things. Let me just show you that as a heat map. So heat map is something like that, where the pixels will be given to you and those color for those pixels will be different. So that's what I'm going to plot here, and that heat map you can get from the correlation plot. So I write here core plot is equal to sns dot heat map, and for the heat map you have to give the numerical data, and numerical data I'm going to give these mpg and cylinders. Thereafter I'm also going to give here the third variable. So as many variable you get, you give here, that cross, I mean 1 2 and 3, so 3 cross 3 correlation plot will be plotted there. So I provide here displacement. All right, so this is the displacement. Okay, so this we have got here as the correlation plot. One thing I need to show it here. So here you also need to give these correlation values, right? So this thing is going to give you a matrix, a correlation matrix, a 3 cross 3 correlation matrix, and then you can use that. Once you have that, thereafter simply you put here st.pyplot, and in that you need to provide your the figure here. So there is a figure. Okay, so now you see there a 3 cross 3, 1 2 3, a 3 cross 3 plot is plotted there. You might be wondering that here you have not provided this part anywhere. In fact, this is not necessary. I think I can remove this. So whenever you create this subplot and thereafter whatever the context you put, that context automatically comes here in st.pyplot. Okay, so but you need this if you want to control your plot later on. Thereafter, let's say if you want to provide the annotations, then you can also provide here a note is equal to true. So it is going to provide values here as well. All right, so this says that what is the correlation there. You can use more features as well. Let's say I want to use here horsepower as well. So I can put that variable as well. So I put here horsepower. Now you should be able to see here that there is 4 cross 4 heat map is plotted here. So similarly, if you are building any machine learning model and you want to show a confusion matrix, so same kind of a heat plot you can use to show the confusion matrix. All right, let's go ahead and see how you can use the date and time like we have seen in our the sample the Streamlit application. So there is the date and time, so something like that. Let's go ahead and see how we can build something like that. Again, it is going to put a lot of we have to do a lot of scrolling to come down. So I'm just going to comment these things from here. Thereafter, I'm just going to use st.markdown and then 3 hyphen so that I can get here a divider. Thereafter, I use here st.header and then I put here date and time. Perfect. So to use date and time with the Streamlit applications, you have to import date, time and time module in the Python. So I import here date, time and time module. Once you have imported this, then you can simply print today's date if you want to print there, or you can in fact take the input. All right, I mean print, we already know that we can use st.write, st.text. We can already print anything whatever we want to print. Suppose that you want to read the input from the user as the date or time, then how would you do that? So for that you have to use the date input. So I write here st dot date input, and then I say that select your date, something like that. Date time dot date time dot now. In fact, this is actually the current date, but if you want to select it, then you can change it as well. So this I had just shown here as a default value, even though if you don't show that, you would not see anything here, or by default actually the current date will be shown there, but any date you can pick from here. So this is kind of the date picker, and then you can write it into input date variable, and thereafter you can print st dot write you have selected date, and then you can write there input date, just like that. And then you will see that whatever the date you select here, you can select any year, you will see that that particular date is selected here. So that's how it works here if you want to read date from the user. Similarly, if you want to read the time from the user, the same thing you can use there. So like input underscore time is equal to st dot time input, then you write there this time is, it would be better if you write that select your time, then you will see there a default time is here, but you can select any of these time and you can read this, and thereafter again st dot write, you can write again you have selected time, and then you put their input time. So you have selected this particular time, you can select any time whatever you like, that time will be displayed there. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and see how you can display some JSON code like we had seen in our sample data. So there are some JSON code or list, etc. Whatever you want, in fact, you can display those kind of code which we had already seen during our Markdown, the section. So to display some kind of the code, you can, write here st.header. I'm just going to put here something extra. So st.markdown and then you are going to see it something like this. And then again this particular thing, I'm just going to comment that so that I can just see that. Let's go ahead and write some, the code for code to display something. So one way to show some code which we had seen using Markdown, other ways you can use like st.code or st.json directly. Suppose that you have a JSON data, something like that. Something like that. Let's say you have kgptalkie.com and you want to display this data. So one way to display this Markdown, you can write this and thereafter you can put this data inside this, but you will see it something like this. That's not the correct way. So again you can put it here like something like this. I'm sorry, data, but this data is not again correct here, right? So just to use that, you can use something like this, and thereafter you can use this, and then you can use this, and then you can use here format, and then you put the data. So you see it something like this. But Streamlit provide a straightforward way to do this. You can just simply write st.json, and inside that you just write their data. So that's how you display this JSON dot data. It's pretty much simple. It just get printed like that only. Yeah, this is cool. Let's say if you want to print code. So for the code we had seen earlier, like import Python, import pandas, etc. We had seen that. Similarly, you can do that. Markdown. A code block is here. So import pandas as PD, something like that. But just to put it into a multiple line, I can use something like this. Okay, so seems like if you use it for the multiple lines, it's not going to work here. So you have to use it something like that. So this is really bad. I mean, this is not going to work here. Maybe new line might work. I don't know. I have never tested that. Import numpy. Let me just test it. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, anyway. So this thing for multi-line code is not going to work. Just to make sure that it works for multi-line code, you can write here st.code, and then you can write here, as you know, the multi-line string. Import pandas as PD, something like that. Now you see that it is working here like a proper code here. Import numpy as np. Then you just keep writing whatever you want to write. You would be able to see those as the code. But this was not even printed as the code, although this was printed into a different format, but not as the code. So that is how you can use that. You can also put here, the coding format as well. Let's say if you want to use some other, you want to actually define the language. By default, it automatically detects the language. But if you define the language here, let's say I defined here a C language, it becomes as C language. But if I define here as a Python, it becomes as a Python language. I can define here as R language. That's the default language. I can define other languages like, let's say, Julia language maybe. Okay, so you can put here those, the language, if you want to specify language separately, that for which language you want this. Let's go ahead and do some progress bar and spinners. Thereafter we will stop this video. So I just write here st.markdown and then 3 hyphen. You would be able to see these dividers. Thereafter st.header, and then I write here progress bar and spinner. Thereafter I'm just going to comment some of these things. Oops, I just deleted that. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yep. Actually, this whole thing is a part of this st.code. So I just need to do this. Perfect. Let's go ahead and see this progress bar and spinner. So for a progress bar, like we saw in a sample application, so it is something like this. All right. So for progress bar, what happens as you progress or as you do the task, then these information will be displayed there. For example, if I just refresh this and you come here at the bottom, you will see that these progress is getting filled there. So basically, let's say if you are downloading any file or you are doing any task, you want to show the customer that you are doing this process, So how would you do that? For that purpose we use the progress. Let's go ahead and see it here, that how we can do that. So first of all, I say here my bar, that is the progress bar actually, st dot progress. By default progress is 0. Alright, that's the progress here, 0, but if you fill it here, so it will fill to the 10. So the basic process is that you start filling values inside this progress. So you start with 0, thereafter you put values inside this progress. So I start with for value in range, and then I iterate it over 100 times, and thereafter I put here my bar dot progress, and then I put here value. Now as soon as I put here, you see that it's running quite fast. Every time I have to reload that. So just to avoid that, I'm going to put it here a button, st dot button, and then I just put it here run. So I just run it, and you see that as soon as I'm clicking that, it's going to fill it immediately. Just to avoid that, I'm going to put here some wait time. So I write here time dot sleep here. I have imported time previously, but I have commented that line, so I need to import time again. I just import this time again, and for this sleep I'm gonna put here 1 second. All right, so as soon as I put I scroll it down here, so you see there at every second it is just filling this value. It's increasing here, right? If you notice this value is increasing. This part is still coming there, so I'm just gonna refresh this, then I just run it, so it's going to fill this. Alright, so that's how you know that you can fill this. That's the one way to do that. Let's go ahead and see how you can do the spinner. So for a spinner, I do import time. In fact, time is already imported. So with st dot spinner, and then I write here please wait and thereafter I write here time dot sleep, and I'm waiting here 0.5 second. All right, and then I'm just gonna run this. All right, okay, so seems like that spinner is not visible there. Let me just print here my success message. So I write here st dot success, and then I write here done. Thereafter I run it again. Okay, so what is going to happen here? It's going to first finish this one, and thereafter it's going to run this one. Just to finish it in a more faster way, so I'm just gonna put it 100 ms value, and then I'm just gonna run it. So it should be able to fill it quickly. It's running, wait, running. Yep, it's just going to fill this value. Yep, so this value is filled there, and then it did their spinner. Spinner was in fact that took very small time actually. I'm just going to put there 10, so it's going to just fill it quickly. Yep, now you see that. So what happens here, as soon as I run this progress 0 to 100, right? So I fill it just 10 value, so make it 100 value, and also make it a little bit more smaller so that this can fill it immediately. Yep, thereafter you see this is spinner. So this spinner is there, like it will make sure that a proper message is shown to your user, that some process is being done and user need to wait. Once this spinner has successfully completed the process, then it is going to execute this line of the code there. All right, now you have successfully built a basics of Streamlit application, and I'm just going to uncomment here everything from here to there, from the starting I mean from bottom to top, everything I'm just going to uncomment so that I can show you everything in one go. Okay, uncomment this one and thereafter uncomment this one. Alright, so this whole code is now uncommented. Thereafter I'm just going to say that always rerun. Now you see there what happens here. So we started with subheaders, headers, titles, etc. Then I had shown you the markdown. Then I had also shown you how you can use these links. Thereafter markdown, etc. was again used, and then some markdown headings, and then yeah, these were I think HTML's code were there, then some buttons were there, some warning error, audio, video, images were there shown. Now you see all these things are being shown there multiple times. Yeah, one thing here I see that st.button is, st.button is there for, I mean the same actually ID is given multiple times. st.submit somewhere is given multiple times, so that part we have to remove that. So multiple time you can't use, right? One thing we use there and again here and then there. All right, so it's like that only. So this submit we used here. Okay, so it says that what it says that there are multiple identical HTML same generated keys there, this and this there. All right, so these two things are here, I have written there. So I'm just gonna put it here, submit this. Yeah, now you see that everything is working as expected. Now this is going to run for a while and then a successful message will be printed finally. Perfect. So you have successfully built one Streamlit demo application. Now you can utilize all these Streamlit widgets and then you can build your own application. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe this channel and share this video on social media and with your friends. And if you have any doubt and you want to convey some message, please do comment and I will try to answer your queries. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.